There can be no king without a kingdom. But what is he without his throne? Our story begins in Greece. The year is 1698. Prince Leander van der Walt is the heir to the throne of the van der Walt family. He walks along the coasts of the island his family rules, along with the sons of two noble houses, Christos and Agathocles. You need to know that Leander does not consider Christos and Agathocles his friends. The young men are close enough to his age and are powerful connections for when he becomes king. But they are blunt and crass, lacking empathy, unfit to be good leaders. Unfortunately, the burden to be a crutch for their noble households fell on Leander.
Hey, Leander, watch this!
Christos skips a small stone across the surface of the water, past a collection of rocks. A few birds begin to rise as the two boys laugh, whilst Leander watches in annoyance.
I bet I can knock one of those birds down.
Oh yeah? Prove it!
Agathocles reels his arm back, a rock in his hand. He throws it in the air towards a bird. It misses and lands behind a collection of rocks. A woman's voice fills the air. "Oh!" Leander stands, fully paying attention now that a hidden individual revealed themselves.
Who goes there? Show yourself.
Yes. Show yourself, dear.
Stand down, Christos.
Peeking from around the rock is a nymph. Dark hair falls around her face, contrasting with her pale blue skin. Leander spies a cut across her shoulder, bleeding slightly from where Agathocles hit her with the rock. Leander feels rage bubble up in his stomach as he glares back at the boys. How could they be so reckless? Did their fathers not scold them when they misbehaved? Did their mothers not show them how to properly behave around strangers? They were nobles. They had an image to uphold.
Well, look at you. What are you doing out here all by yourself? Do you want me to help you find your way home?
You two need to find your way back home. Now.
Christos and Agathocles stare at Leander in confusion. The nymph studies the three of them, especially Leander, worried that this could be some sort of trick.
What? We were just having a little bit of fun, Leander. What's gotten into you?
Yeah, live a little. We just wanted to help her get home.
I said, go home.
Leander glares at the pair, who are visibly annoyed as they begin to wander off the beach in a huff. Then he turns back toward the frightened nymph, and he tears off part of the bottom of his tunic, holding it out to her.
I'm sorry about them. My name is Leander. It looks like you're bleeding. Please, let me help you. What's your name?
The nymph cautiously circles around the rock. As she steps onto the water, ice forms under her feet, allowing her to cross slowly toward Leander. She takes the scrap of tunic, wrapping it around her arm.
My name is Anastasia. Thank you for helping me.
It's not a problem. Christos and Agathocles are idiots. It's a wonder they hadn't hurt someone before now. Honestly, actually, it's really a wonder they hadn't hurt themselves before now.
Anastasia held herself with a sort of pride that Leander admired. From that day forward, Leander frequently visited that beach. The pair became close and fell in love over the years. Soon enough, they were wed. Leander was crowned king, and Anastasia became his queen. They had 3 children, Penelope, Andreas, and Daphne. After his father died, Leander fully dedicated himself to the art of war, following the teachings of the god Ares. Due to his passion for his kingdom and his infatuation with the blade, he neglected and ignored his children. His knowledge would not be enough to save the Vanderwalt family. It is 2022. The ocean slams against a shipyard, giant crates filling the scene. 7 bodies are littered across the yard. 5 of the corpses lay lifeless after they broke a promise. The other 2 being the bodies of those the lone survivor loved the most. The survivor stands in their blood. Blonde hair whispers past their bloodied face under a dark hood. They hold a knife in their hand. They know this was their fault, and they'd do anything to bring them back. The blood on the ground begins to slide toward them. A deal is made. The year is 2024. The Vanderwalt Manor has been turned into a museum to preserve the history of the family. It is watched over by a staff of people that have been there as long as the visitors can remember. A man named Pierce Blaise, the groundskeeper of the Vanderwalt Museum, stands outside along with his girlfriend, Phoebe Nightlock. The museum held a raffle as a fundraiser to have dinner and cocktails in the manor. Phoebe and Pierce were given permission to remain for the evening to help entertain the guests. We find the pair outside the manor as the first group of winners are driven up the long driveway.
You're nervous.
Nervous? Why would I be nervous?
This is a big moment for you. The museum hasn't really done something like this before.
Yeah, I guess. I'm sorry. There are just some really big names on this list. I wasn't expecting there to be, actual celebrities on there. I'm worried I might have messed it up or something.
Phoebe turns to her partner, taking his head in her hands and looking up at him.
You're gonna be fine, love. You genuinely have nothing to apologize for, I promise. If anyone's qualified for this, it's you.
Thank you, Phoebe.
The first car pulls up in front of the pair. The door opens and a grin spreads on Pierce's face as their first guests arrive. Ivanna Aldrich and William Light. Phoebe's face betrays her confusion.
Ivanna? Will? What are you two doing here?
Hi. Pierce invited us. He said it was going to be dinner. It's been so long since we've seen you.
We have so much to catch up on.
Oh, I can't wait to hear all about it.
Surprise!
The pair embraces Phoebe and Pierce as another car pulls down the driveway.
Oh, hun, I completely forgot about something. Think you can take care of welcoming the other guest?
Oh, yeah. This isn't just some way to get out of welcoming everyone, though, right?
No, I just have to let the kitchen know that the guests are arriving and,
Hon, I'm kidding. Go ahead. You two go inside, too.
See you in a bit.
Pierce gives Phoebe a kiss on the cheek. As he heads back towards the museum, Ivanna and Will following him. The second car comes to a stop as Fiora and Francesca Wolferschlegelstein and Hausenbergerdorf exit it. Fiora gives a warm smile as her twin stands a bit further behind them, annoyed.
Hey! We're not late, are we?
Right on time. I'm Phoebe. My partner Pierce and I are the hosts for this evening. You two must be Fiora and Francesca?
Yeah, that's us.
Ugh, I'm surprised you're even accepting us as a pair at this point, Fiora.
Fiora rolls her eyes as Francesca wanders off a few feet, glaring at the garden.
Is she okay?
Yeah. She's just like that, unfortunately. Don't worry, though. I mean, I'm sure she'll settle in, and open up when she gets inside. Maybe.
Right. Well, if you two want to make your way inside, Pierce should be in there waiting for you.
Sweet! Thanks again, man. Fran, come on. Let's get moving.
I told you not to call me that.
Francesca speeds ahead of Fiora to be the first one inside of the museum as Fiora follows casually behind her. Phoebe stands there, taking in the previous conversation. She doesn't have much time to recover as the final two cars pull into the driveway. Stepping out of the first car is Harry Bane. He saunters towards Phoebe as Lucas DeMarco exits the second car.
Well, I'll be damned. Look at this place. Do y'all rent this out? This could be a great venue for a show.
You'd have to contact the directors for that.
Huh.
Now, Miss...
Nightlock. Phoebe Nightlock.
Right, Miss Nightlock. Would you care to explain how my name came up on that raffle of yours? I don't ever recall entering it.
Huh. Now that you mention it, I don't recall entering either.
Oh, well, I'll contact your assistants. You've already come all this way, though, right? It'd be a shame to, fly the whole way.
Yes, I plan to stay.
Oh yeah, don't worry, darling. I'm not going anywhere.
Wonderful. Let's head inside, then. I'm pretty sure everyone's here.
Phoebe, Harry, and Lucas begin to make their way inside after the others. Pierce, Ivanna, and Will step inside and take in the foyer. Tiles cover the floors, and pillars hold up the beautiful stone roofs. A staircase that splits in two directions leads to the upstairs. The landing next to them holds a haunting portrait of King Leander. Two doors lead from the foyer, marked as the East Wing and the West Wing. Two directors' chairs sit in the center of the room. Hope Orlando, a famous talk show host, holds a small microphone as she interviews Owen Davids, a former Major League Baseball player.
So, as you've been recovering from... Oh, goodness, you all arrived so quickly.
You're Hope Orlando! Oh, my mom loves your show.
That's me. Would you like an autograph, dear?
Will scrambles for a pen. Unable to find one, he smiles sheepishly. Ivanna reaches into a pocket on her shirt and pulls one out. Hope signs a piece of scratch paper with a smile.
Thank you.
Hope? Owen? Meet Ivanna and Will.
Nice to meet you. You guys seem cool.
The pair give small smiles as the door opens. Francesca stands in the door, scanning the room. When she notices Hope, she gives an annoyed sigh as Fiora catches up with her.
Francesca! Honey, it's been years! I must have you back on the show sometime.
Oh, dear God.
I'll have your people call my people.
Sounds perfect, dear.
Dude, this place is, beautiful.
Thank you. It's 400 years old. The Vanderbilt family were the rulers of this island for a good 100 years before they vanished.
That is fucking sick.
Fame isn't for everyone. I understand that they'd crack under the weight.
You seem delightful.
I won an award for that once.
You won an award for being delightful?
I've never tried harder for an award in my life.
As Fiora quickly covers up a laugh, Phoebe, Lucas, and Harry enter the museum, all the guests finally laying eyes on each other as the doors shut behind them.
Oh, I can see it now. A runway coming from the stairs, the photo ops. We'd make history.
Yeah, totally. Because nobody's ever held a fashion show in a museum before,
Right. Hello, everyone. My name is Blaise, and welcome to Castle Vanderbilt. Dinner isn't quite ready yet, but it will be in about an hour. You're all welcome to explore around the manor. We'll ring the dinner bell when it's time to eat. If you need anything, find me or Phoebe, or ask any of the staff.
Pierce gestures to the stairs where 5 staff members stand. Their hair is dark, and their skin is pale. They stare silently at the guests, their piercing red eyes almost staring through them.
There are more staff members around the castle, but I'm not fully sure where they are. You won't have to look far, though. They know this place like the back of their hands.
The guests give nervous nods and thanks as they wander off into the museum. Phoebe and Ivanna find their way out into the courtyard in the center of the house. A statue of Penelope Vanderwalt and her husband stands in the center of the courtyard.
I'm always just blown away by the art that you can find here.
Right? God, it's been so long since you visited. We'll have to go into the city to visit more museums if we get the chance.
That sounds great! So, what's new with you?
Not much, really. Pierce has been great. I've been having a really nice time at the museum. I think I'm settling in really well. I definitely miss home. I miss being able to visit my parents too, but hey, they'll be getting out in 10 years. The plan is to have a place set up where they can stay when they're out.
Okay. That's good. And how are they doing? I mean, prison isn't great in any context, but...
They've been okay. They miss each other. Really, it's been hard to watch them be apart. So what's new with you? I haven't seen you since the wedding.
Has it been that long? Well, a lot has happened. Will and I found a really nice house. We have a little garden. It's been really nice. I've been in therapy and it's been going really well.
Finally.
Finally. But yeah, it's been quiet, which has been nice. I mean, work is great. I'm really excited for next semester. And now I have a fun story to tell for our icebreaker. Oh, Phoebe, I have big news. I've been waiting to tell you, but I wanted to do it in person.
Okay.
Will and I are in the early stages of working towards adopting a kid.
Oh my god, Ivanna!
The pair embrace, wide smiles across their faces.
We've been going through the steps, and it's going to be a while, but I'm really, really excited. I can't wait.
I'm so happy for you.
The pair continue to excitedly chat as we find Hope and Owen still in their chairs in the lobby, continuing their interview.
Right, so, Owen, we left off at your injury. How has recovery been for you?
Yeah. After the crash, I wasn't really sure if I'd be able to play again. I had to get an amputation, actually. I've been using a prosthetic leg here for about 2 years. Working on getting back to where I was before. It's been a long journey, and I'm really excited to get back on the field.
Oh my gosh, Owen. Oh, all your fans have been wondering where you've been for the past couple of years. How has it been to play with your new leg?
Well, I've done a lot of physical therapy. It took about 6 weeks for me to get used to this prosthetic just being there. And about a year, I was getting up and able to walk and jog a bit. I've been working with my coach and physical therapist 6 days a week for about 6 hours a day. It's been really hard, but I can't wait to go back out there with my team.
Well, I, for one, am excited to hear you're going to be back out there. I used to watch a lot of baseball. And, speaking of, your dad was a baseball player, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He played in New York for about 20 years. He, unfortunately did pass away a few months ago, which was really, really hard. It did push me to continue training, though. He kept the first baseball he ever pitched, and I have it on my nightstand now. I just wish he was around to see me play again. You know?
Oh, Owen, I'm so sorry for your loss. I know it doesn't compare to losing your dad in any way, but I can definitely understand what you mean. My mother and I had a major falling out when I was in my early 20s, and it was one of the hardest things I have ever been through. We haven't spoken since.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Thank you, Owen. Let's move on to wrapping this thing up, huh?
As Hope and Owen conclude their interview, we find Fiora and Francesca in the library. Shelves filled with old replica tomes fill the room. Fiora sits at a table, their feet up on it. Francesca paces the room, clearly irritated.
What is this, Fiora? What are you even doing here?
What do you mean? I won the raffle.
You know what I mean. Did you finally have to go to Mother and Father to beg them for money? I've been reading the news, Fiora. I know all about how you and your little band have been going through rough times.
Ha ha. I'd rather die than go to Dan and Christine with money troubles. I'd never get out of it. I mean, I hardly got out the first time.
Right. And that's my other issue, actually. You took so many chances to get away from the family, to the point that it's been, 2 years since I've last seen you, and you don't even bring up the fact that you've just vanished off the face of the earth.
Oh, Fran, if I didn't know any better, I'd think you missed me.
Clearly, you don't know much. Do you know how hard I've been working? Not once in any conversation have we had since we've gotten here have we talked about me.
It must be so hard for you not to talk about yourself.
Whatever! I'll have you know, I was just upgraded to first violinist in the orchestra. I played the opera house.
Hey, good for you, Fran.
I don't want your pity. I want to have a pleasant night. So, if you're going to spend all evening trying to push my buttons, then leave me alone. In case you haven't noticed, Harry Bane and Lucas DeMarco are here. Do your father and mother a favor and try not to embarrass them for once.
Fiora gives an irritated look at Francesca's last comment. As Francesca walks out of the room, Fiora kicks over a chair.
Ugh! Asshole!
We now come to Harry Bane and Lucas DeMarco. The pair stand in confusion in a long hallway of portraits and busts. Harry stands in front of a bust of Daphne Vanderwalt.
Ooh, look at this one.
Lucas approaches, glancing at the small informational plaque under the bust.
Daphne Vanderwalt, youngest daughter of King Leander. After her sister's wedding, she vanished into the woods and was never seen again, her family meeting the same mysterious fate that still puzzles historians to this day. It sounds like a load of bullshit to me.
Oh, what's that?
They need a gimmick for people to visit their crummy castle. Coming up with some mystery about a family that went missing will get some dumbass conspiracy theorists to come over and over whilst they try to crack the mystery. Visitation rates to museums have dropped to around 28%. Did you know that?
What's your name?
DeMarco.
Ah, Lucas DeMarco. I'm charmed. I'm surprised your family sent you so far from home.
Yes. I'm incredibly grateful to my parents for sending me here. I'm trying to network to get new contacts for my family.
Right, so, you're looking for business partners? Your family's just famous for being rich, aren't they?
We have a variety of businesses. My father is a well-known scientist. Plus, we own 3 airlines.
Famous for being rich. Got it. So you say that your family invests in things?
What are you getting at?
So, a few years back, my previous investors, the Wolfos Leckenstein Dorgenborfs, I'm sure you heard of them. Well, they backed out of my business, leaving me in a tough spot. Thankfully, I've gotten back up on my feet. It's been a hard time without any funding.
And what is it that you do?
I'm a stylist, darling. I studied fashion history, and I'm the biggest breakout star in the fashion industry. And speaking of fashion history, all the clothing these staff people are wearing are like 1700s Romanian, and this is Greece.
The plaque says that Penelope Vanderwalt married a Romanian count. Impressive that you were able to pick that up so quickly.
But of course. Have you never heard of Bane Designs?
No, I can't say I have. My family wouldn't be interested though, I'm sure.
Oh, your family wouldn't be interested? Well, I say I have to disagree, seeing as you're wearing one of my suits right now.
Look, asshole, I said we wouldn't be interested. Go pick on someone else. Maybe those twins will take you back if you beg them.
Twins?
The Wolfenschlägerhausen-Bergendorf twins.
They're here?
I'm sure they'd love to talk to you. You should go find them.
Harry's face contorts into one of frustration. He clenches his fists and hurries out of the room as Lucas turns back to face the bust of Daphne.
If only I could be so lucky.
We find Pierce and William in the kitchen. A few staff members are cooking whilst Pierce and William chat, cutting up some vegetables.
So, lots of big names here tonight.
Oh, yeah. I guess so.
It's exciting though, right? It's bound to raise a lot of money for the museum.
Yeah, I guess.
You haven't been this quiet since we first met. You can talk to me, man. What's going on?
I just wasn't expecting there to be so many, celebrities. I thought it would just be a lot of strangers that nobody knew, and
You were expecting Penny to be here.
Pierce tenses up as he cuts through a carrot. The mention of his sister stings him.
Yeah, I thought she would have liked this.
Hey, just think of all the adventures she's having, right? Sure, this kind of thing is great, but she's probably somewhere in the mountains learning about some ghost in a haunted ski resort or something.
She already did that. Episode 98, remember?
I knew it was familiar. I'm the oldest of 4 other kids. I know how hard it is not to see them or know where they are, but it's okay. No matter what, you come back together, you know? Penny leaves those messages for you at the end of her episodes for a reason. Have you called her recently?
No. Not recently. She hasn't really had service wherever she is.
Give it another shot. Or try and schedule a time that...
Sir. The head chef appears behind Will and Pierce soundlessly. Blood from the meat she's been preparing stains her apron as she stares at the pair with dark eyes.
Ah, Adelina. Meet Will. He's a good friend of mine. I hope you don't mind him.
Sir, dinner will be late. I've sent Elena to the bar in the courtyard to prepare cocktails for the guests.
Oh, okay.
William gives his friend a comforting pat on the back.
I'll gather everyone. Thank you, Adelina.
As Adelina and a few other staff members return to their work, Will and Pierce enter the foyer as Hope and Owen finish their interview. Pierce rings a bell twice as Francesca steps down from the second story, and Harry exits from the east wing.
We have cocktails in the garden. Dinner will be just a bit later, so feel free to get something to drink.
Oh, a cocktail sounds good right about now. Do you have a daiquiri?
Let's go find out. I'm sure Elena will be able to whip something up.
Pierce, Will, Hope, Fiora, and Harry make their way out into the courtyard, finding Ivanna and Phoebe. Ivanna joins the group as they approach the bar where another staff member stands, sunglasses on her face as well as a sun hat to block out the setting sun. After collecting their drinks, the group scatters around to mingle.
You!
Me?
You made me bankrupt! Do you have any idea how far you've set me back by pulling my funding?
Dude, I honestly have no idea who you are.
I'm Harry Bane, stylist. I set up a fashion show with outfits made out of money to get back at you.
you're Harry Bane! That show was like, oh my god, it was so fucking awesome.
No. It was an insult to your family and all that you stand for. It was a way to show that I could stand on my own 2 feet as a designer.
Oh, honey, you showed him all right. Oh my god. I'm Fiora. I've been to Sewn for about 2 years now. Anyway, when I saw that runway, I fucking lost it, man. I just know Dan was seething. Ugh.
So, you and your twin, you're both disowned?
Oh no, my sister's a fucking leech. Actually, my parents are a leech on her. I don't know, she loves them. Anyway, I'm glad you came to me first, though. But if you're looking for a fight, I'm sure she'd be happy to argue with you.
Is there a problem here? I heard a bit of yelling.
Harry and Fiora glance at each other, trying to figure out where they stand when Harry puts an arm around Fiora's shoulder.
No issues here, darling. Just me and my new friend, Fiora.
Across the yard, the newlyweds admire some of the flowers in the courtyard.
Oh, Will. Look at the hyacinth. We should get some for the garden.
That sounds good to me. We could put it near the bird feeder?
No, I think we're gonna put the peonies around there.
I couldn't help but overhear. You two seem to know each other.
Oh, yes, we're married.
Oh my goodness! How long have you been together?
About 5 years now. We got married in December last year.
We just finished moving in together.
Well then, congratulations. I still remember my wedding. It was such a magical day.
Oh, good. Ours was perfect in every way. And we were lucky enough to have someone recording it. Will says I'm guilty of rewatching the video all the time.
How lovely! I didn't get a cameraman for mine, unfortunately. Too many paparazzi around the venue.
Yikes, I'm sorry.
Well, what can you do? When 2 Hollywood lovebirds are getting married, paparazzi are bound to be trying to get the shot. So we got married in a courthouse to make sure it was done quickly.
Oh, well, I'm glad it was special. Despite the, paparazzi. We got married in a restaurant that's a few blocks from our house. It was really nice. It was small, just our family and a few of our friends. Phoebe was actually my bridesmaid.
Oh, I see! That's the girl with the pink hair, right? She was very nice to me when I checked in.
Yep, that's her.
So, what do you two do? Now that you're all moved in, what's next for you?
Well, we both work at the elementary school. Ivanna's an art teacher, and I'm the school's librarian. We met in school, actually. We got married, bought a home together, and now the next step is planning to adopt a kid in a couple years.
Oh, a kid! Well, I'm sure you'll both be great parents. You have that sort of feel to you know what I mean?
Will and Ivanna laugh awkwardly as Hope continues to pester them with questions. Inside, Phoebe is in the dining room setting the table for dinner when Francesca slams a hand down on the neatly placed table settings.
You work here, don't you?
Ah! Jeez. Yeah, I do.
Do you care to explain to me why Fiora Wolfish Leichelstein Hausenbergerdorf was on the list?
Phoebe stares at her blankly.
I think it was their parents who made the arrangement. They said it would be good publicity.
What? There must be some sort of mistake, then. My parents haven't spoken to Fiora in years.
I mean, your manager reached out to us saying both of you would be coming, so...
Then someone must have hacked our manager's accounts. Oh, of course they did.
Suddenly, the sounds of shouting are heard from the foyer. Phoebe and Francesca hurry in where Lucas and Owen stand, shouting at each other.
I don't know who the hell you think you're talking to, asshole. If you dare mention my mother again, I swear to God, you won't know what hit you.
Your mother was a coward, Owen. Doesn't it hurt? How she left you bankrupt after your accident. How long has it been since you've seen her?
Shut up!
Owen grabs Lucas's collar, a fist landing across his jaw. Lucas gasps as his head snaps to the left. Phoebe hurries forward, pushing the pair apart with a surprising strength.
What the hell? Can we not leave any of you alone? Take a walk, both of you.
He just...
Walk it off.
Owen and Lucas huff at each other as they walk off in different directions. Suddenly, a chime rings out. A member of the staff stands at the top of the stairs, holding the dinner bell. The guests gather back into the room again, as she stares down at them.
Dinner is served. We have taken great care to decorate the room as it was on the night of Penelope Vandervolt and Andrei Mokulescu's wedding. Please, enjoy the meal.
The guests glance at each other. The air in the house has changed, becoming tense. Staff stand near every doorway, watching them. They gather around the dining table. Red and gold ribbons surround the room, and a beautiful meal decorates the table. The guests take their seats, eating mostly in silence. The waitstaff watches them.
Huh? This is, creepy.
I promise they're all really nice. Right, Stefan?
Stefan stands by the door, glaring at the guests. Pierce laughs nervously.
Ugh. This was such a lovely meal, but I don't think it's sitting quite right with me.
No, me neither. We should head back to the hotel.
Yeah.
The guests stand, making their way towards the door as a few staff members step in the way.
Can't you see we're trying to leave? You, get your help under control.
God, you're miserable. Angelika, please move. Our guests need to leave.
I'm sorry, sir. We don't take orders from you anymore.
What? Angelika, you can't be serious. If the board of directors hears about this...
I've waited too long for this, sir. For too long we have been eating the scraps from your table, but tonight... we feast.
The guests stare in horror as Angelika and the other staff members open their mouths in twisted grins. Vampiric fangs fill their jaws as they lunge at the group. They struggle against them, using chairs as defense and using items they find on the table as weaponry. Owen and Francesca are able to pick up a table, running towards the spawn that block the door, throwing them out of the way. They speed into the foyer. Owen runs to the front door, tugging on it as hard as he can.
Fuck! Come on! It won't fucking budge!
Pierce, is there another way out of here?
Maybe? There are windows. We can try those.
Can't you figure it out faster? We can't hold them off forever.
Francesca, Hope, and Lucas are thrown back, the table splintering to the side as Angelika and other staff members stand in the doorway of the dining room. The group moves to the center of the room, standing almost back to back as more spawns swarm into the room from different wings and corridors. The group retreats in horror as Angelika stands on the steps, throwing her cane at the chandelier. It crashes to the ground and glass shatters everywhere. The group watches as 10 staff members surround them, each holding a shard of glass. Their bodies mutated to look like one of the guests. They hold the glass to their wrists, cutting them and allowing the blood to gush onto the floor. The spawn let out guttural howls as they drop to their knees, dying in their own blood. Many of the guests scream, but the staff members step back from the ring of blood. Angelika steps to the side as well as the blood begins to boil, sliding across the floor and up the stairs where it begins to form the body of a creature. A king.
What the hell is that thing?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Finally, I rise again.
300 years since our deaths, and we finally returned to claim our thrones.
The king stares at the guests as he turns and walks up the rest of the stairs, sitting on a throne that has formed from the blood of the staff members.
The sacrifices have been preserved. Good.
Only the best for our king.
What is this? Who are you?
This is the summoning, and you are all my sacrifices. My family has been damned to the hells for centuries, and now we finally return. The food you ate has bound your souls to this place, grooming you all to play our game.
Game?
Your souls will be sacrificed, one by one, in a series of challenges. You will be eliminated through them until none of you survive. Those who survive the longest may have the chance to leave, but all of the others will die.
Why not kill us all at once? What's the point of keeping us alive if we're all going to die anyway?
A soul for each of my family. If I killed you all now, despite how tempting it is, despite how hungry I am, it would prove fruitless. Patience, my friends. I'll see you all soon. Don't keep me waiting.
The king pounds his spear on the ground as he disintegrates into blood, the eye in the center of his chest staring straight through the guests. The blood slides down the stairs and into different corridors as Angelika steps onto the stairs. The staff members hurry off to attend to their other duties.
Divide yourself into 2 groups.
The group stares, stunned by what has just happened.
Oh my god. Oh my god. We're gonna die here.
Hey, we'll be okay.
No, we won't. Don't lie to me. We're in a house filled with fucking monsters.
Fine, we're not okay right now, but I promise we will be. Right?
So, this challenge, what is it?
I said divide yourself into 2 teams, you brat. You'll know what the challenge is when you're there.
Fine! I nominate myself as team leader. I want the crying ones, the baseball player, and...
Francesca thinks, scanning the room. Fiora stares at her sister in clear horror at not being selected immediately.
Hope. Fran, come on, this isn't a fucking game. Back off, Fiora! Not now.
I'll lead the other team.
What the hell? This isn't fucking dodgeball, guys. Are we really not gonna try to find another way out of this? We could die here.
It's a game, Phoebe. You don't need to be bitter because I didn't pick you. Nothing against you. I just think you're really, really annoying.
Seriously?
Fiora steps up to Francesca, shoving her slightly. Fiora has tears in their eyes.
Francesca, what the hell? You don't know what this fucking thing is gonna be and you're splitting us up. What if I die? What if you die? Like I said, Fiora, you're my one true competitor. It's a good plan to get you out of the way first. You're a monster.
Right. Team, all of you gather around here. We're going to talk about what this game could be.
The group split up. Francesca, Hope, Will, Ivanna, and Owen make their way closer to the main door, as Lucas, Fiora, Harry, Phoebe, and Pierce step to the door of the dining room.
That was really harsh.
It's the nature of the game, baseball player. You need to cut off your heel to make yourself invincible.
My name's Owen. God.
I'm going to forget you told me that. Right. What are you all good at? Tell me why I picked you.
I'm smart.
I don't know.
Unless the challenge is something social, I honestly think you made the wrong choice with me, hun.
I'm good with a bat. I can run. I don't know what more you want from me.
Ugh, you're all useless.
You, Glasses Boy, you'll be good at helping us with strategy. Crying Girl, I can see you have a bit of, muscle. If we need anyone to get their shit rocked, I'll be counting on you. Baseball, you hit things.
And me?
Bait.
Hope lets out a small gasp. Lucas surveys his team as they look at him expectantly.
I have to say, Fiora, your sister clearly isn't the best at picking teammates. Each of them seem like they'll be more of a liability to her than any help.
That's her plan. She's gonna try to take us out first since we're the strongest competition. Then she's left with everyone else.
Your sister kinda sucks.
Can we please stop talking about my fucking sister?
Yeah. Sorry.
Anyways, skills. What are you all good at?
I know this place like the back of my hand. I grew up here.
I can be pretty sneaky when I want to be. I threw knives in high school. This turns out to be a battle royale situation.
God, anything but that. I'm good at quite a few things. I don't know, just name something and I can probably do it.
I'm pretty good at strategy. I was in the chess club in high school.
Angelika rings a bell as she glares at the guests.
The challenge is about to begin. Please, follow Anton and Stefan to the courtyard.
Don't vampires burn in the sunlight?
Don't humans have the supper in the evening? Foolish girl.
Enough, Elena.
The contestants fearfully make their way out to the courtyard. The king sits on his bloody throne, and Harry lets out a laugh. He can't help it.
Huh. Son of a bitch.
Lucas's team feels a twinge of hope as they see a chessboard laid out on the courtyard. Multiple spawns stand on different sides, leaving 5 spots open on each side. The king, the knight, the rook, and 2 pawns.
Choose how you'll be distributing your team members. The leader of each team will be your king. The first to fall is our first sacrifice.
The courtyard goes silent as Lucas and Francesca swap glances. Fiora steps up, putting a hand on Francesca's shoulder in worry.
Fran, let me take your spot. Come on.
Go back to your side, Fiora. I don't plan on losing here.
The teams are divided like so. Lucas and Francesca are the kings. Will and Harry are the knights. Ivanna and Pierce are the rooks, leaving Phoebe, Owen, Hope, and Fiora as the pawns. The spot for the queen is empty on each board.
This isn't fair, we're missing a piece.
Nobody may take her place.
But we're playing without a full board.
Fine. If you two wish for a queen, then you will get one. Elena, Angelika, you will act in her place.
We could never take her place, my king.
Never.
She will take care of them in time. Take your places.
The 2 thralls make their way onto their designated spots. Each spawn and contestant are given a steel sword. Francesca and Lucas decide where each piece moves. It is a violent battle, but our contestants last a significant amount of time, both kings refusing to put them in harm's way. A vampire spawn stands ahead of Francesca. Her forces are scattered around the board, so she swipes her sword at the spawn. Since it is made of steel, the thrall is spared, running off to the side of the board. She then realizes her mistake. She stares at Lucas in horror as Angelika stands across the board from her.
Shit.
Francesca, I can't die here.
Whoa, man, you can't just kill her.
Fran, stop! Let me take your place, you stubborn fucking asshole! No use, Fiora, I lost. I can't believe it.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Is there no other way out of this?
The king stands, looking at Lucas and giving him a nod. Lucas inhales shakily.
Queen to G2.
Angelika holds her sword at her side, dashing towards Francesca. Fiora, Hope, and Ivanna scream. Angelika's sword swings towards Francesca's stomach.
Shit.
Blood pools at Francesca's feet as she looks up at Will. His stomach has been slashed open, and she can see the dark stain on his sweater as he attempts to hold his insides in. He turns towards Ivanna, dropping to his knees.
I'm sorry. I couldn't just watch.
Ivanna stares in horror at her husband as she attempts to run to him. A few thralls step in between her and the others. Ivanna, Pierce, and Owen attempt to push back against them to reach him. Fiora pulls Francesca to them, staring at Will as the king crosses the field. Harry hides his view on Lucas's shoulder. Hope and Phoebe each pick up a dropped sword, staring at the thralls creeping toward the board. The king stands over Will.
Ivanna, I love you. Please, my wife, please let her leave.
An admirable sacrifice, William Knight. Unfortunately, sacrifice doesn't get you anywhere.
The king opens his left hand. Blood spins between his fingertips, a spear forming in his hand. He grips it tightly, sending the blade through Will's chest as he suspends him in the air. Will can hear the other competitors scream. His limp body slides down the spear slightly as he comes close to taking his final breath.
I love you.
The king's eyes widen as they fully turn red. Will gags on the air as blood begins to pool from his throat into the king's mouth, now opened wide and revealing his fangs. The ground rumbles as Angelika and the other thralls shriek in delight. Will's blood is completely drained from his body, and all that's left is a shriveled lump of bone and flesh. He throws the spear to the ground as multiple thralls leap at the body, beginning to consume the scraps left by their king.
The night is still young, my toys. Your second challenge awaits you shortly.
The king rests on his throne as the doors to the balcony open. A tall, wiry man, dressed in a toga, looks down at the contestants, a twisted grin growing across his face as the many thralls notice him.
Ioannis, begin your hunt.
Ioannis roars as multiple thralls' heads shoot up, their mouths covered in the flesh of Will as grins grow across their face. Reluctantly, the group begins moving toward the manor, swords in hand. Ivanna, distraught, stares at the decimated corpse of her husband as Owen and Hope pull on her to keep moving. Ivanna takes a half step back toward the chessboard.
Ivanna, sweetheart.
No.
We need to go.
No, I won't leave him. I won't leave him, Will.
Our heroes rush into the house as the thralls give chase. Ioannis nods to his king as Leander holds up the goblet of blood towards him.
Let the games begin.
No, please don't go.
The year is 2018. We find ourselves in a dimly lit apartment. 5 children of varying ages hurry around the room, loudly talking or playing with toys. Donna Light, William's mother, stands in the kitchen, hurrying to pack a lunch for each of the children to take to school before she heads off to her second job. William sits at a desk, his nose buried in a book as his foot taps anxiously. Today, he completes his finals, Today is the day where he finds out if he's graduating or not.
Will, honey, do you need a ride? I can drop you off on my way to work.
No, I should be alright.
His mother leans into the doorway, smiling at him where he sits. He's been planted there since last night. She's grateful for him, and is proud he's following his dreams. Will's father passed away when he was 7. With the twins demanding attention and the new baby on her way, Will very quickly realized that he needed to help out more around the house. He always used to look forward to their Saturday trips to the library. Of course, since this is what sparked his passion.
I should be back around 9 tonight. I have a shift.
Your car is still in the shop? Haven't they called you yet?
No, I haven't been checking my phone either, so that's probably a part of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm back, I'll help Abby and Ben finish up their homework.
Donna walks across the room, giving her son a hug.
I'm proud of you, hun. Thank you for all your help. I've got Abby and Ben tonight. Your aunt is coming to town, so take all the time you need. Maybe go out with some of your friends?
Will gives a shy nod. He doesn't have too many friends. The only people he's ever really gotten close to have been people he's partnered up with for group projects. But even then, the connection was strictly professional. Will glances at the time. He's so tired he almost missed the bus. Donna hurries into the kitchen, returning with a portable mug filled with coffee. Will gives a smile.
Thanks, Mom.
Black with 2 teaspoons of sugar with cream. Just how you like it.
Will makes his way out for his final exam, and he passes with flying colors. He graduates and finds a job at the elementary school as the librarian. It's the week before school starts, and Will is preparing the library. He steps outside of the room to get another box full of things when someone bumps into him.
Oh, my goodness. I'm so sorry.
Ivanna stands ahead of him. Her face is almost fully blocked by crates filled with art supplies. She leans to the side a bit to get a good look at Will, and he gives a small smile. He holds out a hand for her to shake, and Ivanna holds out a pinky. Will scolds himself for not thinking about the crates in her hands.
I'm Will, Mr. Light. That's how they want us to introduce ourselves, right? I'm the librarian.
Well, it is lovely to meet you, Mr. Light. I'm Miss Ivanna, the art teacher.
Ms. Ivanna. No last name?
I feel like it's easier to remember. And for the kids to pronounce.
Oh, right.
Well, I've got to get this to my class before I fall over.
Oh, let me help you.
Will and Ivanna hurry down the hallway, forging a new friendship. They worked alongside each other for about a year before Will finally worked up the courage to ask her out on a date. They dated for 3 years before they were engaged, and they were married later that same year. They got a house together and were all moved in when their close friend Pierce gave them a call to come to Greece to visit and spend the night in the museum where he and their friend Phoebe worked at. The pair agreed to go. The adoption forms were still on the table.